Hi, I'm Connie Hamilton. I want to talk to you today about note-taking. I've been doing some thinking about this after visiting a variety of classrooms that have note-taking as part of the learning process and to allow students to reflect on the learning that has happened. And I've noticed a couple of differences in classrooms that utilize note-taking. There's one set of classrooms that uses note-taking as a process. Think of it as a verb, note-taking. And the idea and the emphasis in those classrooms is looking at how students can summarize and synthesize information that they've read, they've observed, that they've discussed, and make sense out of that and document it somehow so that later they have some kind of a cue that can remind them of the cognitive journey that they previously took. In other classrooms, note-taking looks more like creating a product, like the noun of here are my notes. And in those classrooms, it's really more about looking at having students complete a task so that in hopes they can later study that. But in those classrooms, there is less success, I'm noticing, because the students don't actually have an opportunity to interact in a thinking process to make sense out of what it is that they're writing down. As a matter of fact, in many cases, it is literally just copying what the teacher writes or what is said in a video or copying something from the book with no intentional facilitation of students to think, reflect, or make meaning out of what it is that they're writing. And in many cases, kids are writing 2 or 3 words at a time, and they aren't even documenting complete thoughts. 2 or 3 words doesn't necessarily represent a complete thought or idea. So it just reminded me of chapter 8 in Hacking Questions, where that chapter is primarily about hear the music. And the idea behind that chapter is about listening for correct thinking, not just right answers. And so that parallels very clearly with note-taking. It's about tasking students with thinking and processing and making sense out of information and learning that's presented to them so they can later find their way to make sense and recall that information. So just something to think about, and hopefully you enjoy your morning.